Hello, today we're working on another build for the mitochondrion save file, and we're building a cabin in Granite Falls. This cabin is meant for a couple to stay in. It has a single bedroom and a single bathroom, and I wanted the design to be quite simple. We use a lot of wooden accents like the island living fence and the outdoor retreat wooden columns. I also used season spandrels, and the cabin is mostly cherry red color wood. And I added a chimney and a single bump out just because the design was so simple. And because the mitochondrion save file is meant to combine a lot of packs and a lot of us play with seasons, I wanted to make sure that in case the holiday had bad weather, at least some of the outdoor space would be usable still. So that's why I built a covering above where the outdoor space is gonna be. And now I'm just picking the color of the roof and doing the finishing touches. And we're painting the outside with the cherry brown color. And at first I wanted a colorful door, but then decided to go with the brown one, just because the cherry red wood already is kind of bold. And then I decided to use Jungle Adventure windows as well, but I didn't know where to place them. So at first I did the floor plan, the single bedroom and a bathroom, and the living space and the kitchen is open. And we're coming back to working on the chimney, and there was no matching stone for the foundation, so I decided in the end to go with the base game stone, and I used get together chimneys, just raised them up with a 9 key. And this is me struggling to raise them at first. Yeah, and just the darker trim. For the flooring I went with just some dark wood, and the inside uses the same wallpaper as the outside. And I really struggled with lighting because I didn't want the lights to be to use candelabras or candles, because the building wasn't that old, but still most of the lamps were too modern. So in the end I went with I think a light from Cats and Dogs and Cottage Living. And I wanted a structural kind of column separating the living room from the kitchen, and we're placing the Jungle Adventure windows. I wanted to go with these large windows, but in the end the colors just didn't work right. I wanted some privacy from the inside, so I changed them to the seasons ones instead, because they matched the Jungle Adventure ones very well. And I brought the same stone from the chimney to the inside where the fireplace is gonna be. I exchanged the last window with the Jungle Adventure one again, and then I picked the fireplace, and I went with the base game one, which has blackish blue tiles on it, and I thought that it worked kind of with the kitchen. And I placed a small TV on top of the mantle, and I'm just placing some flowers. At first I picked these like bohemian rugs, but then I thought that it was too much on the sofa and I wanted to keep the sofa instead, so I went for red accents with the mismatched chairs and a more neutral rug instead. And I made sure that the living room didn't look huge because I don't think the cabin is huge enough for a bigger living room space. And then just place the bookshelf if there is time for reading. And just some accents around the living space. I added a candelabra for just romantic atmosphere. And these ottomans under the window I imagine to be a perfect place for reading. And now we're moving on to the kitchen. I changed the color scheme a bit until I landed on this powder blue. And the kitchen was supposed to be L-shaped at the beginning, but instead I went for a U-shape because of how open it looked, and I didn't think it fit with the rest of the design. You see me struggle with picking the right counters for the corner. And I went with the older stove and I made it red to tie up with the living room space. I went with the tartan curtains, this similar pattern as the couch, so it fits seamlessly. And some bar stools. And for the dining table I went with a small one from Get Together because it also had that warm wood color that I used a lot, and it had a lot of wood. It was very wooden, so it fit the aesthetic very well. And here's me looking for other things but then finding some kitchen clutter. I didn't want a big shoe rack because I don't imagine that people stay here for a long time. It's like a few days. And just some picnic equipment. Here's me struggling to find the fire equipment thing that I know we have, but I use it so rarely that I don't know what it's named. And finding more kitchen clutter. It's something like fire tools. Yeah, here it is. And I really like to use this mirror because I can't use it anywhere else but in cabins like these. And then we struggle with the curtains because none of them looked old enough or they were too modern. Just some worn down rug under the dining table. And I needed some light here, but I didn't want a fixture, so instead we're going for a lantern. And we're moving on to the bedroom. And I wanted to use the outdoor retreat bed, and I chose the blue because of the frame. And I needed an accent wall, so this is from the ranch pack. And now I'm placing the lamps. And I wanted some picture above the bed, but it had to be old enough to fit. And I went with this career unlock. I think it's a career unlock. I wanted some seating here, but in the end I just copied the ottoman from the living room. And we're going with the ranch wardrobe as well. And for skill building, I put a chess table here. And some island living curtains. Yeah, and I use this plant, which I rarely use because of how outdoorsy it looks. I just now realized that I did not put any side tables on the side of the bed. For the bathroom, I went with the vampire tub and the outdoor retreat sink and the mirror from outdoor retreat. And I used this toilet, which I rarely use because it has a wooden seat. Yeah, and I really love that style. I use it a lot in buildings which should have older tiles. And then I remembered that the Realm of Magic has these botanical paintings, which I thought fit very well. Just finishing up the ceiling. And I went with the Star Wars stones. I really like the stone paths from there, so and I used the fire pit from the kit because I thought that this is more of an expensive place to stay for 2 people, so I could splurge on that. And I'm placing the blankets everywhere in all the cabins and camping grounds because I feel like it's a great opportunity for more activities. Yeah, and the game that comes from outdoor retreat, also the card table from the get together, just to have more activities. And the picnic table under the roof. Yeah, so if it rains or storms, you still can enjoy a picnic under the roof. I used the same stones for the pathway. And now we're moving on to landscaping. Now I'm playing with the trees so they won't clip with the house. When I loaded into this lot, it had a lot of stones everywhere and like grass, so I mimicked that. So it's very natural landscaping, not clean, opposite to the pathway, which is really manicured and clean edged. I use a lot of grass and low-lying plants to make it look a bit overgrown. I used a lot of horseradish and base game grass, and I placed around a lot of these just rocks so it fit with the surrounding area. And we're moving on to terrain paint. Started with this, and then I remembered that there's a matching one that comes from outdoor retreat, so I went with that instead. Just making sure that the house seems like it stayed here for a longer time. It's not newly built. And just placing the last benches. Here's the finished look, and thank you for watching.